Alright guys, let's go ahead and just jump right into this. So before I get onto the TA, I did update some of these charts. For instance, the Bybit chart here. I did add other fib channels, so you have some targets. You can see this line right here is a lot of support and resistance. So there was nothing above this point. So I did update some of these charts just so you have some targets to use. I would like to point out though, so what I'm going to do, so I've given myself a lot more work since I've created multiple Bitcoin charts on different exchanges. If I'm gonna recreate each one of these from scratch. So guys, that gives me a lot more work to do. What I'm going to do is probably have an archive. I'll have a little archive link, and a lot of these I'll put in the archive section. That way, because some of these, sometimes I'll remove a chart and then I'll get an email from someone saying, hey, I was using that chart, why did you take it off? So the charts will still be accessible, they'll just be archived, so that way you guys will just see the most recent charts on here. And again, it is good to have those older charts because sometimes there's rings. And for instance, like if I open up this chart here, you can see that this orange ring right here is pretty much doing what this red ring is doing on the Bitmax chart. So that's why I want to have the these charts archived, just so you can have access to them. And later on, rings that are further out that are playing a role, we can copy those and paste them into the new charts. So I will keep all of those older charts, but just to make it easier for you guys, I'm going to have those the most recent charts here, and then have those charts in the archive folder. I would like to point out, guys, as a thank you for those that did do the lifetime access for charts and for stocks, or for lifetime for charts and lifetime access for charts and tutorials. I've added, I upped it by $100 for each one of these, but you guys that chose these options, you now have access to the stocks. Guys, currently on the stocks page, let's see here, I can't, well, the way I'm logged in, I can't access the stocks page, but these are the stocks that are currently up right now. You can go into list of charts and you can see these stocks that are up. I'll go over some of this at the end of this video. I did want to show you, so there's already over $1,000 worth of stocks created, guys. This guy's paying me $1,000 to create 10 stocks for him. So I'm doing Bitcoin charts first, guys, because I promised you I would, so I'll be creating those from scratch. But again, I have 20 stocks. I have 2 people that requested 20 stocks. So I'm going to be adding 20 more stocks, and they've agreed, even though they're paying for these to be created, they agreed they're okay with me placing them in the stocks page. So guys, if you do want to do lifetime access for the charts, tutorials, and stocks, is $2.99. Lifetime access just for charts and stocks is $2.49. But again, the price can go up down the road as I add more, because the more charts I add, the more charts I have to update, and it's just more work for me. But again, I'm doing this as a thank you for you guys to choose this option, because again, SSL certificates, purchasing stuff for the website, for the store, having to upgrade my my hosting plan, because this website gets so much traffic every day that it was bogging it down. I had to actually upgrade to the highest plan they had. So anyways, that was as a thank you, guys. I did add stocks. So now if you did choose this lifetime option or this option for charts, so if you click on the stocks page, you now can access it. Again, this, once I have these charts updated today, the Bitcoin charts, this will be disappearing. Those that already chose this plan, as long as you just as long as you're still subscribed to this plan, even though this won't be under the subscription option, you'll still only be charged $20 a month. If you cancel though, when you come back to the subscribe page, this will be $39 a month, and then this will be $40 a month. So just keep that in mind, guys. But if you are subscribed currently at $19 a month, that will not change. You will be billed every month for $19. It's just new subscribers. Once the charts are up, this will change to $39 a month. This will be a new subscription plan, and in 1 month will be $40. So just wanted to cover that, guys. So let's get into the TA. So on Twitter, by the way, guys, follow me on Twitter. That link will be in the description. So I made this post. This was on actually this was 17 hours ago. I was mentioning, you can see we were finding resistance at this red line in this fib channel. I'd also mentioned this in that last video, that it's possible we could stay underneath this red ring, and if we do stay underneath it, this was our support, and that could push us further down. This is the white ring here. And then I made a post, this was 14 hours ago. I said, hey Bitcoin, say hello to yellow, and you can see what happened. We came up, got perfect rejection. It's right at the fib channel line and this blue ring, I'm sorry, this yellow ring, which would, I was assuming it would push us down. So let's go and see what happened. Actually, let me show you in the previous video. So this was the video where I was telling you a possible scenario that would play out. I'm just going to play a part of this. Red ring, and then we got below the ring. Now we're pushing above it. We'll see if we come back down below it. And it was possible we can move back down below this ring, and we could potentially have a drop. Your target would be around, 9,044, potentially 9,026, or we could continue up. You might get so I gave you the scenario if we push up, if we push down, and then also this part right here. Let me play this real quick. These charts give you an idea. We've been respecting this yellow fib circle, so you can see that something's going to happen when you get to this point. We push up or we drop down, and your next trend line down here, your major support on this chart is 9,126, and if we're out here, you'll hit this line, it's at an angle, possibly 9,148. So, and that's what I was showing you, that these charts actually do give you targets. So on this chart right here, you can see that we came up, we found some rejection here, we got pushed back down, so we're moving up this line right here in this fib channel is currently our resistance. If we do push up, I would be looking, and again, I'm going to give you targets using the rings, and guys, I'm going to give you targets on multiple charts. This is a Kraken chart. Price is a little different on each, but you have targets to look for on all of these charts. That's why I say always use different charts and compare them to find out where potential targets are or different formations we could be in. But according to this chart, if you just want to go by this ring itself, if we push straight up from here, I would look at getting rejected at 9,244. Guys, if we push above this and it's not a fake out, then I would expect the target above, again on the Kraken chart. And again, if we push straight up, if we're further out, you can go higher, further to the right. But again, your first rejection is 9,242. If we're more down here, it is 9,211. That's if we make it above this line in this fib channel, which currently is right at 9,190. You can see that when we drop down, as I mentioned in that previous video, I said that this blue line right here would be your support, and you can see that is where we dropped to. We came down to it, we pushed above this trend line, came back down, found support on it twice, came back up, found support again, almost hit it, and then pushed up. We're getting rejected at this line here. So we'll have to see if we push down further. Again, if we do push above this, expect a potential pump. And then your next target again would be this line or this ring out here. Where my cursor is at right now is 9,410. This is that other chart where I pointed out that if this ring, while we did push above the ring a bit, it did give us resistance, push us down. We pushed way above this, these liquidation wicks. This was our resistance, this was our support. I added another fib channel to this chart. Guys, this is what I was talking about when I update the charts. I'll add fib channels to each chart. The way I set these up is I can keep adding sections to it in the areas where it's needed. So, if I hide this, this is how the chart was. And you can see we dropped down right to this blue line, as I mentioned in that previous video. It's perfect support. Let me put this back. So targets for this chart, if we push up, your first resistance is going to be this, and again, this is Bitmax. So if we push up, your first resistance is going to be around 9,252, and then of course you have this trend line, which is each one of these trend lines, or the lines in this fib channel, is going to be resistance. So we push above that, you're going to find resistance at 9,279. But keep in mind, even if you push above that, you're going to have a lot. This was a lot of support right here, so you're going to have major resistance. So if we did push above it, could be a fake out to take you up to 9,249 before possibly pushing down lower. If we get above this and find support, then your next target up here is going to be this trend line around 9,420. And then you have your resistance up here at the top of this channel, which is at 9,530. So again, this is a Bitmax chart. You can see this is that white ring I was talking about that I said was going to push us down, and you can see once we hit this ring, you know, other than this liquidation wick that went up and down, you can see we have stayed underneath this ring. And I was telling you the reason I expected that to happen was going by, you know, this fib circle here. You can see this ring pushed us down, and if we finally broke above it, we came down, we got stuck in this channel, and currently, you know, we are moving down this ring. So, you know, this is the ring that I'm watching and paying attention to. And again, on the website, if just so some of you, so a lot of people ask that I actually reference charts. If I go into Bitcoin, that is this chart right here, Bitcoin capitulation chart 12/10/19. So this is a chart I'm watching. If we do push above this with a lot of volume and it's not a fake out, I do expect that we'll get a major pump. This is what I'm paying attention to. This is what I said is possible. You know, if you come down, if this is the channel we're in right here, because it does seem like this, you know, this is a parallel channel. We got resistance, support, resistance, more resistance, came down, found support. So if that's the channel we're in, and we do have another drop, this is at an angle, so it depends on where you hit it. But if we come down, you know, you're gonna have support at 8,900. This is a Bitstamp chart, by the way. 8,926, and you know, this goes up where the apex is 9,081. And you know, as you can see, every time we push up, we get rejected by this ring. So if we push up, you know, look for a rejection at 9,292, and again, that goes all the way down to 9,089. Again, if we push above this, I'm going to get bullish, but watch for fake outs, guys. You know, wait for it to come up a bit, and make sure it doesn't retrace back down underneath it. If we push up, you know, the candle closes and then it finds support on it, then I expect we could go much higher. But you know, again, I did mention in that previous video, I just wanted you to see how much of a role this one fib circle has played. We got perfect support on this ring, perfect resistance on this ring, and then as soon as we hit this ring, we started moving down. So I'm watching to see if we break this support, and then your major support, if we do have a drop, you will find support down here. Well, all these messages are coming in at one time. So if we do drop past this line here, expect to have, and you can see that we have been respecting this orange and this red ring, going way back. So that's what I was saying. If we do break this support here, taking us out of this channel, look for your first temporary support will be around 8,391. Out here is 8,479, and then this also could be our support as well. So right here is 8,308. Out here is, well, where the apex is 8,204. Again, the apex for this channel is February 6th. Apex for this red ring and the white ring is February 14th. And then the apex for the orange ring and this white ring is the 17th of February. So again, guys, this is the one I'm watching. If we don't stay above this, I'll probably buy down here because I expect us to get a bounce, possibly to push us back up and test this ring again. And we possibly could get a bounce down here, but I am watching to see if we break this ring. This here is the Coinbase chart. So this was one that needed to be updated. It was out of date, but you can see that's why I say always look at different charts, because going by this chart, you can see a different setup here. But you can see that this ring or this line in this fib channel, and I'll just draw a trend line so you can kind of follow it back. But you can see that this was a lot of support and resistance. You got a lot of resistance here, a lot of support, a lot of resistance, came back up, resistance, found support. So, you know, it's possible that we can move up from here. And if we do, you can see that this ring right here was a lot of support and resistance. So if we push up, according to this is a Coinbase chart, if we push up, you're going to find resistance around 9,294. And of course, your support is currently where we're at. Over here, this ring could possibly play a role, guys. Always pay attention to these rings. They're here for a reason. But, you know, if the apex right here for this chart on Coinbase is the 6th of February. So we could be caught in, you know, something like this. According to this chart, we'll just have to pay attention to see what happens. If we push above this, your next resistance, as you can see, this was resistance here, and gave us resistance here. So if we push up above on the Coinbase chart, your resistance would be 9,627. If we have a drop, you can see that this, I think this is a ring. This was a lot of resistance and support. So in the Coinbase chart, a possible drop target is 8,716. And of course, you can see these rings played a role of resistance and support as well. So we have a further drop, that'd be 8,538. And then this is a fib channel line, which you will find support. And you can see that this line here, and I'll just go ahead and draw a trend line here so you can see what I'm talking about. And this does go way back, guys. You can see we got resistance here, we got resistance, more resistance, we finally found support on it. So a likely target for a more significant drop if we come down, and there is a lot of intersecting lines and rings here, so I would say between 8,533 down to potentially 8,477 if this continues to drop before catching a pretty good bounce. This is another Coinbase chart. Again, I added some fib channels here. So according to this one, your first support is going to be around 8,996. You're going to find resistance right here at 9,243, and then this ring could potentially play a role to send us up or down. Again, guys, just look at the different charts, see what you can find, and always look back at previous rings to see how they affected price, and always use previous lines to see how much of a role they played as support and resistance. So you can see this line right here, if we follow it back, and for this chart we'll just go way back, and I'll just make sure it stays right on that line. So you can see this was support, we had some support, we had resistance, we had a lot of support here, we broke below it, we found support, more support. As soon as we broke that line, we came down, we came up, we found resistance, we found support, resistance, we stayed underneath it as resistance, and then we came way down here, and then finally we pushed back up, and then we found resistance at this line again, pushed back down, found more resistance, support. Now we're above it, so this is a very strong support level on this Coinbase chart right here at 8,995. So if we come down and test that, expect that to be a lot of support, at least by this chart. So that's why I say always look at different charts, always go back and look at these lines that were previously strong support and resistance, which gives you an idea if we drop down to this point, you could catch a bounce, if not only temporary, and then pay attention to the rings as well. The Dow Jones, so you can see that we did come down, we found support on this this line here, and you can see this line going back. This has played a role. If I can move that, so you can see this line right here has played a role as a lot of support and resistance, and that is currently where we found support. We pushed up, and you can see we're finding resistance on this trend line here, which I expect to continue to be strong resistance, and I imagine we'll get rejected here, and we'll probably start moving back down, if not sideways, but I do still believe this ring will push us down. Again, guys, as I mentioned in that previous video, I do expect this to push us down. Every time we hit a blue ring and a white ring, we get a significant drop, like right here and right here. I expect the same thing to happen here. Your targets again are 27,434. You have very strong support here at 26,263, and then you have very strong support here at 25,500. If you go lower than that, these targets are here. We'll just have to see what happens. We'd like to point out Tesla. Someone had just made a post recently on Twitter. I think it was, yeah, right here. Someone had mentioned Tesla, and if I load this up here. So at the time, I said that next resistance is 832 and support is 664. And if we go to this Tesla chart, see, we were down here. We were right here. So I said your next resistance was around 832, and your support would be around 662. But you can see we pushed right up to this next. We were down here. We pushed past this ring. But you can see we got perfect rejection right here at this ring at 935, and then we came down and found perfect support on this ring at 834, which I thought would be our resistance. Actually, it became our support. So we came up here, we came back down, we wicked up. So we'll have to see if we continue bouncing back up and forth in here. If we get topped out here, we'll be coming down, find support. I don't have any rings above this, so if and again, this is what I meant, you know, I'm taking on a lot creating all of these charts. So if we push above this, then I'll need to, you know, update this chart for potential targets to the upside. And you know, I probably need to update these fib channels too, because while the rings do give you targets, the fib channels also help you with targets as well. So guys, expect today I'm going to be charting all day long, updating the Bitcoin charts for these exchanges: Bitmax, Coinbase, Bitstamp, Binance, Bybit, and Kraken. And I will archive the older ones, leave some of these current ones up with the dates, but the newer ones will have the date it was put up. So you know, it'll say, it'll be you know, February 4th will be the date for the new charts. When I get some time, I will update the altcoin charts, but I do need to knock out these stocks for these people that are paying for these stock charts. So expect at least 20 more stock charts to be added to the stocks page. And guys, again, you that did the lifetime, you now have access to the charts for stocks. So just click on stocks and you'll have access to it. Again, guys, follow me on Twitter. This is where I will make updates on, you know, what I find, because it's fast and it's easy. And you know, I'll continue to make videos to keep you guys updated. But yeah, if you want to access the charts, guys, that information is in the description. My link for Twitter is in the description, and I am getting started charting, and I will make posts on Twitter as I update each chart. That's it, guys. Until the next video.